Hello everyone, welcome to Serial Scoop Now. I'm Roger Newcomb. I'm here with the multi-talented James Kiberd. Guilty. Who I've been watching on TV and other things since 1983.
Wow.
So just quickly, because we have limited time, tell me your story. How did you get into acting? How did you get to New York City?
Oh my God.
In 30 seconds.
I did a management consultant job for a theater company, teaching them how to do long-range planning, management by objectives, and board development.
Okay.
And they asked me to audition for something.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, nah, I don't want to act. It's phony baloney. And I said, well, I'll try it. And I did, and I got the part. This was at Penguin Rep in Stony Point, New York, which is now celebrating.
In Rockland County.
Whoa, you are good. This guy is great, I'm telling you. Unbelievable.
I lived there for a while, one of my many iterations.
So I acted there for a while, and Joe Brancato basically changed my life. And then I started getting work and auditioned for Loving, which blew my mind. The role. It was the first time a PTSD vet had been on the air.
Right.
And it was a challenge, and it was such a journey.
You guys went on location, right? You went to the wall.
Wow, you really, this guy knows more than I do.
I know more about soaps. I don't know if this is getting me anywhere in life.
Than I do. Yeah, we went to the wall, and that was designated as one of the 50 greatest scenes in soap opera history.
Awesome.
But it was fun, and that's where I met Bryan Cranston, and I became really buddies. And that's also where I met my wife, Susan Keith.
Yes, who had just left Another World. That's a Seal, the first is Seal.
Yes.
And then she showed up on. Now I have friends that they never get over her leaving, and it's been like 36 years since she left.
I wouldn't be able to get over if she left.
Yeah, well, that's different. But I have friends that are still stuck in 1981. They're very upset that she left. But Susan Keith.
Yep.
Who was also great on Loving.
Yeah, she was wonderful. And
you got married in 1986.
Yes. Whoa. I'm amazed. And I tried to keep her from getting hired on the show.
Really?
Yes. There were 21 women that auditioned for my love interest, and Joe Stewart, the producer, said, "What do you think, James?" I said, "They're all fine except for her. Please don't hire her." And that's how it began.
Wow.
Loathing turned into loving in real life.
Oh, wow. It was better than the actual show. No, I'm kidding. It was actually good for a while.
It was a good show.
It was good. I think it got off track at some point.
It did, after I left.
Yeah. No, I was just telling you, I read an article earlier that was from 1986 that was saying the show's all downhill since you left. So.
Well,
they lost the best actor that they had.
Well,
so, anyway.
I'm not taking that one. Thank you.
Anyway, that was one person's opinion. So then you went on to other roles, and I think you did a lot of TV commercials, and you were on Another World, and then you were Uncle Porkchop.
Yep.
You did lots of Shakespearean theater. That's one of your specialties.
Yes.
Yes.
I love classical theater, and I also like experimental theater. I worked with Joe Chaikin and Nancy Gabor, and physical theater, and brought that into the Shakespeare, and then into and that's how I started in All My Children. I was doing this character that I had dreamed up in experimental theater, and I got a call from Joan Dincheco, who just died, saying, "We want you on All My Children for 5 days to play this character that I had been working on in experimental theater." And they went for it.
It's a long 5 days.
It was a long 5 days. It was 11 years.
You're also, in addition to all these things, you're a very talented artist. So
Yep.
you've done many things, exhibits, and what did you want to do as a kid? Did you want to be an actor? Or what? I mean, you didn't want to be an actor until later. Were you always an artist, or how did your creative side come out?
Wow.
Because you're very creative.
I'm astounded. Nobody's asked me what I wanted to do when I was a kid.
Anything?
No, I came from a not too substantial background, so that my parents were always adamant about the practicality of things. You know, being an artist was not practical.
Right.
And in my life, what's turned out to be the only thing that's made me a living is being an actor or being a painter. And then I also was a UNICEF ambassador,
Right.
which is a cause that's near and dear to my heart.
All right. So we're here today at, where are we? Studio 353, rehearsal
Yes,
studio.
yep.
You're preparing to go off Broadway in the Crusade of Connor Stephens,
Yes.
which is a show, a new play by Dewey Moss, the great Dewey Moss, award-winning.
Yep.
You guys did this show earlier this year.
Yep.
At the Midtown International
Theater Festival. Very good.
MITF, and you guys won all the awards. You
All
won
the
Best
awards,
Actor,
yep.
Best Play, Best Director, Best
Yep.
Everything.
Best production. And the way this happened, I had an acting accident 10 years ago, and I had been totally disabled, and I had not been able to work on anything.
Wow.
My life was over, basically. And I worked 10 years to try to get everything back in shape.
Okay.
On May 9th last year, I got out of a hip replacement operation, found this script on my bed, and I read the script, and I said, what am I going to do with this? I can't even walk. But I read the script, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it's an astounding script. It's the best script I've ever read in my life. And I called my wife. I said, bring me King Lear, because I want to do that next. And I read Lear, and then I read Crusade of Connor Stephens. I said, no, I want to do this. Wow. And so I started emailing the producer, director, writer, the amazing Dewey Moss, and back and forth. And I said, I really want to audition because I want you to know what you'd be getting. And he said, good. And I said, but the problem is I can't walk. He said, I'll come to you. So he came to Dobbs Ferry. I answered the door. Hey, and he said, coffee? He said, no. Water? No, I'm fine. I handed him the script because I was ready. 20 minutes later, he's sitting in my kitchen sobbing and laughing. And I'm looking at him and go, what is the problem, Dewey? And he said, James, you have no idea. I've been thinking for the last 2 weeks, how am I going to tell you you're not right for this role?
Oh boy.
and now I'm telling you, you're perfect. And now I want to know, why would you do this? And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, it's only for 3 performances. It's in a festival. And it's a lot of work for just 3 performances. I said, it's the greatest role I've ever read. I want to do it. Sorry about that phone.
No problem. We meant to have that phone. So what can you tell me about the play? Like, what can you tell us about the play without maybe giving it all away? But what is the story about? It's set in Texas.
It's set in Texas. There's been another school shooting. A little girl's been shot by a teenage basketball star who kills himself. And the play takes place in the living room of the family on the day of the funeral. The place is surrounded by protesters and reporters because they anticipate the father of one of the fathers might show up. The 2 fathers of the little girl are gay. In Texas, at this place in Texas, ain't a good thing.
Wow.
And the father has disowned his son and really hasn't seen him for about 15 years. And he is the biggest Baptist preacher in this area. He's got his TV shows. He's got a virtual mall that he's a big time preacher. And sure enough, he shows up and it hits the fan and we're off to the races. It deals with the issues of the day, which are what is truth, what is real, what is fact. Would you kill for your God? Right?
Wow.
I mean, that is something that's affecting the whole world. Who is it okay to love? Who is it okay to marry? gun violence, that all the issues are there. And it's not thrown in hodgepodge. It's beautifully, beautifully woven. And I decided to do this and pursue this because I thought, what can I do now in the world that will really make a difference? This play is going to get people talking to each other. They'll experience the play, and they'll start talking about these issues. I had a lawyer a New York lawyer at the festival come up to me and say, I have to tell you, I'm a liberal. I saw this play, and you convinced me of your point of view.
Wow.
It's so powerful. And folks, every time it's been shown, people jump up, they stand up, they cheer, and they're laughing, and there's tears in their eyes. It's so powerful. It's the best, most powerful thing I've ever worked on. And I'm so lucky. I mean, I can't imagine doing any other show.
It's all downhill from here.
It's all
Your career is just... Okay, so it's going to run at the Jerry Orbach Theater. Jerry Orbach Theater. Previews start June 17th.
Boy, you are
opening
sharp
June
as a tack.
26th. Sometimes, some days. June 26th, opening night.
You got to come.
And it's going to run open-ended, right? It's
open-ended run.
That never happens.
It's your obligation to come see this show and save your life.
Oh boy. This should be interesting. This is like
you are either saved or you are not. Ain't no in between. Those that ain't going to be taken up by the Lord, no matter how good of folk they might have been.
This is like
come see the show.
Every Sunday of my childhood.
It is.
And Sunday night, Sunday morning, and Sunday night.
Amen, son. Are you saved?
Yes. Like no. At the end of the sermon, it's just like somebody here has sinned this week, and I'm just like, oh God, it's me. Please.
This boy's been backsliding. Now get the baptismal font in here.
For many years.
Take a little dive.
For many years. So before I let you go, just back to soaps really quickly. Your audience.
Yes.
What do you think? What is your like favorite moment from all those years from Loving to All My Children? Like, what would you say is like, or not your favorite? What is the moment you're most proud of the work that you did during the soap time?
Wow. I'm really proud of how I included the fans in the creation of Trevor. In addition to playing the psychically damaged Vietnam vet, which I still get letters about today. Thank you for portraying that character. It meant a lot to us.
I wish that would re-air. Like there was a SoapNet channel for. I wish they would air those first years of Loving again. You would think, because with Bryan Cranston and other people,
yes,
they could get some mileage out of just that.
They could.
Plus, it was good.
And but then I got involved, and the fans really gave me a lot to feed and play with as Trevor, and that was a lot of fun because we had I had these wild ties that I designed the costumes for Trevor.
Really?
And part of it was the wild ties before wild ties came in, and fans would send me ties, and I'd take them to the wardrobe department, and they'd put them on the show, and I'd write the fan back, say your tie's going to be star of the show.
Great.
And the ones that weren't on the show, I would sign an autograph and sell for UNICEF, and we raised close to $300,000 doing that. Wow. for kids around the world, which really, really meant a lot to me. And my journeys for UNICEF out of the celebrity that I had really woke me up. Just made me realize how precious life is, and what the opportunity we have as creative people to talk about things that are important to people is.
Wow. Okay, on that note, very deep. Crusade of Connor Stephens coming soon. The next big hit off
Come
Broadway.
see it. You gotta
off
come
Broadway.
see it.
Dewey Moss, brilliant playwright. You want to
Yep.
see this? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you,
See you
Roger.
next time.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.